Happy Monday, everybody. It's the first day of pads at training camp. Let's talk some Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce on a push-fade comeback. And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
Welcome back to Kingdom Come Chiefs podcast, guys. I a little bit late making this video. I was truthfully over watching RGR, watching Ryan's live stream. It's Monday night. He does live streams on Monday, so I was over there chatting with the group over there. I love the group over there. And funny enough, I always talk about the channel stuff right off the bat on these videos, so I'm going to talk about that. I was talking to Liz Morrow, and she said she saw somebody, ran into somebody, and they were really bragging about how much they love the channel. So I just want to throw you some love. I really appreciate that. And if you were that person that ran into Liz Morrow, drop it in the comments. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more, learn more about you. I really appreciate the love and the support that I'm getting from everybody. Like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. But let's move on from that and get right into what we got to talk about, because there's a lot to talk about. I haven't made a video in 3 or 4 days, so we'll catch up on some of the stuff that's going on out there. Number one, the big news today is Orlando Brown is back in training camp. This doesn't surprise me too much. It doesn't surprise me at all that a lineman picked the first day of pads to come back to practice. That being said, I wouldn't have tried to predict it or anything like that, but once he came out and said, yeah, I'm going to be at practice or be at camp tomorrow, I was like, yeah, that checks out. There's not a lot for him to gain by holding out any further, because we can't offer him any more contract negotiation until after the season's over, so it really doesn't make a lot of sense. It is an encouraging sign. It means that, hey, we're all on the same page here, that we still want to negotiate, and there's seemingly no bad blood. So it looks like this was all a business thing, which is kind of what I was telling you guys for the most part, even when I got a little upset with him, but because I think that last offer was a really good offer. But that's more about his agent than anything else. And we did see Brett Veach come out and say, yes, we're absolutely interested in still extending Orlando Brown after the season. So I know there's a fair amount of you guys that just are not a fan of him. Give him a chance this year. Really watch his play. I will probably do a breakdown or two during the season, just because I know how much people are going to be paying attention to Orlando Brown this season. I'm rooting for him. I want him to do great, obviously, because that's going to help the team first and foremost, but also just as a person, I'd like to see people make a bunch of money and do well and succeed. I don't think any other person's success is a threat to mine, so definitely want to see that guy succeed and do well. I don't get mad when people win. So I hope he wins and gets a big contract, hopefully from us, and hopefully it's well-deserved. That's the biggest thing. So enough about Orlando Brown. First day in pads, kind of like I mentioned. So that was a big day for Leo Chenal, because he is a physical player. And from what I saw, I didn't get to see a whole bunch, obviously, but I did see some clips of him defending and doing really good in run fit situations, run defense, really filling gaps and getting aggressive downhill. So that's exactly who we know Leo Chenal to be. So no surprise there, but you might start hearing his name more than we have thus far now that the pads are on. Jody Fortson, according to Coach Reed, he is not injured real bad. It's just a thigh strain, I believe is what they called it, or something like that. So it was so insignificant that I kind of just turned it off when I read it and was like, that's nothing. He'll be back. Jody Fortson, I hope, stays healthy this year. I hope he's able to fit into the system. Read an article earlier about him and his red zone targets maybe being a missing piece for this offense, and that very well could be. I think we need to target Kelce a little bit more and just kind of go at it with Kelce more than we do. But let's see. Let's see what happens with that. I'm excited that the Fortson injury was not a big deal. Frank Clark. I did want to spend some time talking about Frank Clark today. First of all, congratulations to Frank Clark for putting down the bottle. Man, I've definitely been there at points in my life and points in my military career where I was just drinking too much, and it was affecting my home life. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting my behavior. It was affecting everything at work. And you can get there. You can get to that point really easily. So first of all, just as a human being, good job on Frank for recognizing that. And if you need to get to a point where you quit altogether, then, more power to you. I think like everything, balance and do everything in moderation. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm not one to tell somebody to stop drinking, but if he felt he needed to for his career, I think that's a great move. So hopefully we'll start to see Frank play up to his true potential. And the really cool thing that's going on with Frank Clark right now, and I'm hoping it's not just for show, is Frank Clark's been staying after with some of the younger guys, staying after practice, talking to those guys about the position and taking care of those guys a little bit. So I definitely want to see that. I definitely want to see people doing the mentorship thing, especially when they're older veterans like Frank. He's 29 years old, I believe. So, he's going to get to a point where physically he's going to start to deteriorate, which brings me right back to the whole stopping drinking thing. At that age, you do got to stop acting like you're 21, because you're not. And I hear he's dropped weight, so I think that's probably a good thing. Some more quickness to him would be great. He's viewed as a power rusher, and I don't think any of his time here has been really good as a power rusher. I think it would behoove him to drop some weight and try to pick up some speed and try to get around that edge a little bit faster. So hopefully we'll see that out of him, and I wish him nothing but the best. I don't hate Frank Clark. I have in the past gotten very irritated with Frank Clark because we paid him so much money and has not paid up to that level of pay that we've given him. But at this point, I'll just be honest with you. I think it's almost certainly his last year as a Kansas City Chief. So rather than spend it angry at him, I'm going to spend it cheering for him and hoping that he succeeds, does well, brings an impact to the defense, and in doing so secures himself another paycheck elsewhere, because I seriously doubt it'll be here. Other camp stuff, let me look through the training camp feed real quick. Jerick McKinnon's been still making some noise, which is really cool. CEH had a nice play on a screen pass, so that was an 11-on-11. There's not a lot of video out there right now of anything too interesting. I'll try to pop up a few different plays right here if I find them to be of interest. But this is going to be a rather short video because I have a feeling I'm going to be making another video tomorrow. So that's the plan anyway. The plan is to go to bed here pretty soon and get up early in the morning, head down to St. Joe, and hopefully meet some of you guys, man. If you guys recognize me or whatever while you're out there, hey, stop me. I'm happy to talk. I'm probably going to have my notebook, might have my kids with me. Probably just be sitting up in a bleacher somewhere, hopefully taking some notes and maybe some video clips for the channel. So I'll keep this video short. I don't really have much else to say. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate you guys. Hit me up in the comments. Let's talk about something, man. Hit me up with some questions. Hit me up with something you'd like me to pay attention to when I do make it to camp, whether it's tomorrow or at a later time. So thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon.
I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now.